This is the Stockwell-Roche Show, giving you real-time information you need to make educated decisions about buying and selling in the world-renowned Twin Cities. Now your hosts and real estate experts, Jason Stockwell and Josh Roche.
Mistakes, mistakes, mistakes. What not to do. So today, folks, we've got a lot of valuable information for you on what not to do, and then some positive things on what to do, but many things about what not to do, and the mistakes that can be very, very costly to you as a homeowner or someone who's buying a home, selling a home, renting a home, you name it. You never know you're making a mistake when you're in it, but you can always see it when it's done. Hindsight is 20/20. So hopefully we can prepare you and your loved ones to avoid making some critical errors and mistakes that will save you time, energy, effort, emotion, you name it, everything. So through preparation and through not doing some of these things. So welcome to the Stockwell-Roche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results. Josh Roche is out today, unfortunately. His little guy, who is a stud hockey player, Jaden, had to go in for teeth, to have his teeth removed, 4 of them. And I guess he's recovering with Josh is there to help his little guy, and he just does not want to leave him because he's in a lot of pain. So, Jaden, if you're listening, a shout out to Jaden. Hang in there, buddy. It'll get better. And Josh will be back next week. In his place, we have the infamous
Robin Hartle from Remax Results. And, his teeth being pulled out, he'll look more like a true hockey player.
Yeah. Well, they're growing. Yeah, exactly. I should say just leave them. You don't, have to pull them out, right?
Just leave it just like that.
Ben, you're a hockey player, right? You know that. I mean, just leave them out, right? You don't, or they'll come out naturally.
They're going to come out anyway, eventually.
So
the longer you stayed in hockey.
Yeah, exactly. My old buddy Nick had some that were interesting to see. They were out and he had the removable.
I never lost a tooth. I know people that have, but not me.
Well, then you're not a true hockey player. No, just kidding. I shouldn't talk. I don't play at all. Never played. But anyway, we have Ben Nelson. I love it, though. I do love hockey. We have Ben Nelson with Farmers Insurance here and Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo. Welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You bet. So market update. Before we get into the negativity, I don't want to say negativity, before we get into the positivity through the negativity of the show, but what's the market update happening out there, well, Robin and Stephanie, and what are you seeing, and Ben actually too?
It's good. It's good. I actually have the Remax National Housing Report in front of me that I just received recently, and they talk about this last September versus the previous September and comparing the 2 years. And it's amazing. It just keeps going up year after year. And I just went to a talk with somebody that was saying our next year, come spring of 2016, hold on to your shorts because it's going to be a crazy real estate market. This is just going to be nuts.
Between now and
in 2016, so the summer, starting in the spring of 2016, for that spring, summer, fall, it's just going to be insane. And so,
meaning insane, yes, or
yeah, good,
okay,
very good. Our real estate market is going to be so hot,
crazy.
And it's been just kind of gradually moving up there. And people say, the experts say, it's a good gradual instead of that way down and then way up thing. You want it to be a little bit more of a gradual, nice, steady increase because it's better for our economy that way. But we had over September this year from last year, the median sales for prices, the home sales, the prices of homes increased 7.2%.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And real quick, I'm going to knock just to make sure that does happen next year because I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And that'd be great for, obviously, our business, real estate business, and sellers out there and everybody out there. So hopefully these predictions for next year being a really, really good real estate year.
It's supposed to be really good. Well, and then the only problem is that our inventory just keeps sliding. The inventory keeps going down. Now, the home sales are going up. The transactions, the number of transactions are going up. And the prices are going up, but our inventory is just keep going down and going down. So if you're out there and you're saying, geez, I don't know when is a good time to sell, it's now. I mean, we're supposed to have a mild winter, so I wouldn't let the winter scare you away either.
Yeah, inventory is low, and hopefully all that stays true. And between now and a year from now, we have just a really robust, awesome year. And if rates stay the same and don't go up, I think it'll happen that way as long as nothing crazy happens. Which I don't know the historical relevance of this, but don't they always say, is this just a total myth? But during an election year, you have a great bull run, and then all of a sudden something happens, change of president or change of whatever, and boom, that's when it hits, and then now they have to go through a recovery, and then
nobody wants to be responsible for
right
for it, and they'll think of anything just to pin it on a politician, right?
Yeah. So hopefully that, for the sake of real estate, I hope it's true, but I hope it doesn't have that backlash or back end crash at the end, or the recovery at the end. But so good news on that, and if you're thinking of selling even in the winter here, it's a good market. We have been putting houses on the market. They are still getting showings, not quite as many showings, but they are getting showings and offers, and it's not as crazy as it was months ago, but it is still pretty healthy and good, and the inventory, luckily, is still low enough so that if you put your house on the market and do the right things, you still have a good chance of selling throughout the winter. Stephanie, what's happening in mortgages? How is that business
Well, and
going?
I think, the first word you said was mistakes, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today is, and with everything that's going on in the economy and so forth, that's what we want to do, avoid the mistakes in the past. So that's what I'll be talking about today is how to prepare. So right now in these winter months, people say, that's right, we don't want to sell, we want to wait till kids are out of school and things like that. So those are some things we'll help talk about because it really is a great time. Building permits. I know you love new construction and builder stuff. So we look at a lot of data. I met with our building sales manager the other day, and just the number of building permits that are being pulled in the various cities. So new construction, again, too, is on the rise. So if you're not finding that house,
build it.
Absolutely. Let's look. Yeah. If you build it, they will come. Right. So just looking forward to that as well. And, rates continue to hold steady. And, again, even, if we have an uptick in rates, we're still at the lowest rates in history. I mean, back in 2007, 2008, people were at that, 5-6%. And back in, was it the 80s, people were at, 15%. And so forth.
Crazy.
So a 4% interest rate is still very good.
Yeah, it is. And
So-
a lot of people refinancing. A lot of people refinancing their homes too.
Still, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing where, too, people talk about, well, geez, should I stay in my home? I've got this really low rate. Well, think about it on the flip side. Now you can buy more of a home with these really low rates as well.
Yeah.
There you go.
So even though you've refinanced, well, that's great, but you can also, turn around and use that rate for, either investment property, second home, or buying a little bit larger home. So
Yep, that makes
absolutely.
sense. You're listening to the Stockwell Rocher Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with Remax Results.
And Robin Hartle with Remax Results.
And we have Ben Nelson, Farmers Insurance, Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo, talking about the market update and then getting into some things to avoid, key critical things to avoid in future segments here. And at the tail end of this segment, Ben, what are you seeing in your market as far as insurance and requests and new policies?
Sure. Well, actually, in the last week here, we've actually saw a big increase for people that are buying homes. I think this week we've had 4 or 5 requests for binders coming in, which is always nice.
Yep.
Means people are out there moving around a little bit. And also, we're seeing quite a few just requests of current insurance for refinances, send over to the mortgage company. So people are out there still moving around quite a bit in the fall.
That's awesome.
I think a lot of people are trying to get it done before the winter, so they don't have to worry about it come snow time.
Yep. And Ben, since you're on the show again, I met with past clients today. There's actually a house that's going up for sale through relocation, and they're picking between a couple of 2 entities or 2 agents. So luckily, I was one of those agents that is going there, and it turns out it's next door to a house that I had buyers buy a year and a half ago. And I don't know if they're listing, but if you guys are, congratulations on the baby. But they had a situation on the house where they had water come in from the outside, because I stopped and talked to him today for about 20 minutes before the appointment at the next door house. And they said, I didn't even bring it up, but they said insurance did not cover it.
Wow.
And I said, I just had a guy on and I learned that, and I was blown away, and I've been doing this for a long time, real estate sales, and it had a sump pump and everything like that.
Just
but
came
it
in
was
from the walls?
It was a 4-inch heavy rain that came through, I think last summer, something right through their little band that came through their area, and wrecked a lot of stuff. And they don't have any insurance to cover it, so they're eating it. They're doing it themselves.
Yeah,
so.
it's tough. And flood insurance isn't cheap either.
They couldn't get flood insurance. They're not in the flood zone. So what I said, is
There's
there
nothing you can
is there
do.
like some third party just kind of like a high deductible insurance?
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know if there is or not. I don't think there is. If there is, let me know because I'd like to sell it.
So here's the thing about that, folks.
What's that?
If you could get like a rider on the policy.
Not for stuff coming in the walls. For if it comes up from like the drain tile, you can get
through
something
the ground.
that.
You can,
but if it's just coming in from the walls or windows,
so that makes it so critical. We talked about it last time too. But to make sure your sump pump is in working order,
plug it in.
You have plug it in. Make sure you have a backup battery. And make sure your gutters are clean, your grading is good. If you have to put poly down along the side or do something to re-landscape, that can save you the money you spend on that, whether it's hundreds or, hundreds of dollars could save you thousands and thousands of dollars.
I was actually talking with my neighbor the other day, and he was asking us if we had our sump pump plugged in. Because we live in a new construction area, so everybody assumes that everything is going to be right. And I'm like, yeah, I have it plugged in. It doesn't cost you anything to plug the sump pump in when it's not running. So he's like, maybe I should plug mine in. I've had some water in my basement the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
It is literally free just to plug it in. It doesn't run.
That's what it's there for, folks, is to save from that because it's a mess to deal with, and they're going through it right now. So hopefully you guys, if you're listening, you're getting through that and everything is going good, and hopefully we get the sale of the house next door and you have some good new neighbors. So very good information for you. So when we get back after break here, we're going to be talking about a lot of things. Here's some tips for you. Thinking of selling your home on your own. 5 reasons to reconsider. So of course you're going to hear that from us real estate agents. You might not to sell your house yourself. But this one is big. Biggest home seller mistakes when you're selling your home. 5 new home mistakes to absolutely avoid, and 5 reasons not to necessarily use your friends or family members for your real estate transactions.
That's a good one.
And then we're going to end it with some positive things. Stephanie, do you have a top 5 as well, or a different one?
Yes, I do. 5 ways to prepare for the home buying process. So, purchasing a home is one of the most significant financial events that Americans will have. So
5 things for that. That'd be great.
So we just want to help people prepare and give you some tips and things to.
So that'll be a good positive one. And then lastly, 5 top reasons why to invest in real estate even now.
Yes.
So you're listening to the Stockwell Roche Show. I'm Jason Stockwell with RE/MAX Results.
Robin Hartle, RE/MAX Results.
And Ben Nelson, Farmers Insurance is here, and Stephanie Havel with Wells Fargo. We'll be back. Thanks for listening in.